Everyday Superpower, where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. We're gonna go off on one today. We're gonna go off on one. I gotta tell you, my brother, it's all dynamic. It's all dynamic. Sometimes you gotta step back, and we're talking attraction, we're talking repulsion, we're talking dating, we're talking your love life. I'm telling you this, it's all dynamic. And what I mean by that is sometimes you need to take a step back, stop micromanaging, stop being so finicky and, attentive to the fine detail and understand that there is a larger picture involved here, right? If you go look at a piece, if you go to the flipping Sistine Chapel, yeah, there's going to be a few bits and bobs where the artist or artists might not have been too fussed on, they might have made a mistake here and there, they might not have performed that optimum capacity here and there, the best of artists, the best of creatives, the best of business people are going to have some times where they don't act optimally, where they let themselves down, where they let the people around them down, and blah 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 blah. But the big picture is that doesn't deduct from the greatness of that individual. It does not deduct from the greatness of the art, right? It's all dynamic. I'm going to relate this to your communications with women, so hold on, people, because I want this to be a motivational and inspirational discussion, because, from a black pill perspective, somebody will think, oh, my nose is too big, or I'm asymmetrical, and they'll find focus and pay attention to these minute details that under the magnifying glass seems ever so important within the realm of dating and relationships, but they don't pay attention to the big picture, right? You can outweigh and you can leverage that which is external to what you feel lets you down to override, if not just make perfect balance of what is. If you're an ugly person and you've got a lot of money, yeah, a woman's not going to care. She's still going to be attracted to you for your resources, right? So in its most simplest terms, just perceive it as is. When you're communicating and you think, oh, I've flopped her shit test, it's like, well, maybe you should step back, acknowledge the fact that you realized that there was a test put before you, and instead of being hard on yourself, just take a moment to consider the fact that you don't really care that you failed. And you need to showcase the fact that you don't care that you failed, because you're aware of your value as a man. And even though she's tested you, you flopped it, but you've acknowledged and moved on and laughed at it in a manner as to which it's completely irrelevant to you, because you don't mind whether she comes or goes. You're still holding masculine frame. You're still within an attractive space. You are still leading the communication. You are still leading her, right? It's all dynamic. Yeah, it's good to know these little intricacies as far as like hypergamy is concerned, as far as nonverbal communication is concerned, as far as shit testing is concerned, as far as, the masculine and the feminine principles and the balance of our communication as human beings, so we can leverage ourselves and seesaw adequately and appropriately, not give away too much, but give what's right and so forth. But sometimes you might say too much. Sometimes you might act stupid. Sometimes you just might expose a realistic and honest side of yourself to her that is somewhat repulsive. But the thing is, on your purpose and in your journey as a man, you should be working on and establishing, and in a perfect world have established, a momentum and a gravitational pull that eliminates and nullifies those momentary setbacks as far as how you may be perceived by her, consciously or biologically, Oh, I can't. Let's take this to the extreme because I like to refer to this in particular, right? I like to refer to this in particular because I know women perceive this differently, and I know there may be an underlying basis which somewhat takes you out of your masculine frame. And I know that there are men on the internet who really over exaggerate these particular points when it comes to this particular discussion, either in a way of overcompensating how tough and strong they are, or because they genuinely believe like this is the end of everything, right? A man who cries in front of his missus, right? Oh, you can't ever do that. She'll see you as weak and do that. She'll use that, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, my brother, if you don't care, it doesn't matter. The moment you show that you give a fuck about how you're perceived, then that's going to be seen tenfold, hundredfold. When you make a mistake and you highlight that mistake by showing an insecurity, that's when it becomes a problem. But when you approach it from a generalized understanding that everything comes together in this dynamic, and you're not an overtly emotional person, and you shed a tear at something which represents an inner depth of oneself, and she looks at you and you think, so fucking be it, I'm a man, you can take it or leave it. And aside from that, maybe if you redirect that energy as this magician of sorts, right? This psychological, mesmerizing hypnotist, you'll be able to redirect that emotion, energy, motion to a more powerful showcase of identity. I'm strong enough to showcase this reality of oneself, unlike the people you were with last who had to go and hide that. I'm completely fine. I don't need any help. And it showcases that which your father was too stubborn and stone-faced to show. That which you've always craved in a man. And I'm speaking on a case-by-case basis, right? You don't know how she perceives it. As I said, I've heard two sides of the story when it comes to this, but I'm just showing you how everything is dynamic, right? Some women might be super turned off by it, but it doesn't matter because external to that, you're playing the game in a perfect manner because your understanding of oneself and you're on your masculine principle, and you know very much that her femininity craves to be led by your masculine principle, right? You're not taking the wrong path as shepherded by the mainstream media and the influence of society that has been influenced by those whom wish to oppress and weaken the masses. You're completely aware of that. You got your eyes wide open. You know the reality of sense and self. So why does one little blip on the radar make so much of a difference? Do you give a fuck about how she perceives you? You got one life on planet Earth, and the moment you dispose of the nonsense that most of these people will tell you, they will hyper accentuate anything and say, oh, you can't have an intelligent discussion with a woman, or at least you can't showcase a degree of intelligence in your conversations because all she wants to do is have fun and blah, blah, blah. My brother, I don't care if I'm turning her on or off. The fact that you want me to deteriorate my foundational standing, which is up here, let me just break myself down to appease this woman and place myself in this position of weak vibrational energy purely so I can, do what you say is attractive to her. My brother, I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap. If she's turned on or off by the fact that I've got something proper to say and that I have a fathom of understanding and intelligence that I can teach her to get what she wants as long as she stays with me, then why does that matter? Do you see? She might look at me and think, oh, he's always so serious and talking about, stuff with depth. I just wish he'd talk about Love Island. I wish he'd just talk about the television, but he doesn't watch the television, blah, 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 blah. Just see, it's all dynamic. The fact that she cares about that can't be helped. I can't tick every box, right? But I do know that I am operating at a higher standard than the next man and the next man and the man that came before. Whether that's right or wrong, I believe in that. And due to the establishment of the foundation of development, I have sculpted myself through regarding the hardships and the failures and the life experience. Yes, I don't think she's got a foot to stand on when it comes to criticizing me or her biological input when it tells her, oh, I'm a little bit triggered because he's shown aggression in his direction. He's shown aggression in his action when it comes to him wanting to get what he wants. Oh, I don't like him when he's so serious and stubborn and blah, blah, blah. All right, let me soften myself to please you and tick every box. And let me read all of these pick-up artist books of how to operate perfectly. Oh, shit, it's about time I neg you because I need to do that to ensure that you feel insecure around me and you need to pedestalize me. Bruh. It's dynamic. The fact that I'm existing here with you and you've chosen me first and foremost shows that you perceive me of value anyway. And from here, I only have to prove myself to be myself, which is the same person you got in that relationship with, because I am of a pedestalized standard in relation to any other man you've met. This is some good game. This is game. It's all dynamic. You can break the rules, brother. You can break the rules, brother. You can embarrass yourself, brother. You can have problems, brother. You can be on the street homeless. What does it matter if you got game? You can be on the street. What does it matter if you represent an archetype of someone she's craving in her life? You can be on the street and have a magic that extends beyond the neutered masses that she perceives in you, that triggers some degree of magnetism for when you get engaging with her, my brother. Don't you worry. And if it doesn't work, so what? Keep on moving. You're number one. It does not matter if anybody accepts you or doesn't. You're number one. You keep on moving. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I number one in your life? No. That's not how it works. There's basic principles, yeah. But don't you fall into the trap of thinking that it's just tick every box, flicker attraction switches and do all this and that. Once you learn the rules, you can break them. Once you understand that there's a larger picture, you don't have to hyper accentuate and concentrate on the fine detail no more, because you know generally across the board you're playing the game right anyway, not because you're trying to attract her, not because you're trying to keep her, but because you are doing the right thing as a man, because you are doing what is biologically, consciously, subconsciously sound as a man across the board. She's naturally going to be in position. She's going to be in place. This is game. This is game. Because the bottom line is, if she finds a reason to leave you, she's looking to leave you, so fucking be it. What are you going to do? Cry about it, man? Come on. I'm signing out on that. Click like and subscribe as always. Check out the links down below. Peace.